All right, we are here on Heart Media Day with Baker University head women's basketball coach Ben Lister and junior point guard Jess Zweifel. How are you guys doing today?
Doing
Good.
Good. Well, Coach, we'll start off with you. You guys are coming off a Heart title, 30 wins, just an outstanding season. Heart regular season and tournament champs. What are your thoughts on this upcoming season and how is preseason going?
Preseason's going fairly well. I think one of the biggest things that you want to have happen in the preseason is try to stay as healthy as you possibly can and really learn more about your team in the process. And we've been able to do that for the most part. We've been nicked up a little bit, but not too serious. And for us, this is really a growing period. And, we're coming off, again, another season of unprecedented success, accomplishing things that haven't been done in school history before, most wins in school history, and then the conference regular season and tournament championship. So we know that we're in a position right now where a lot of teams are going to obviously want to try to knock us off the top, and we have a goal of ours to stay there. So that's been our motto and our kind of our focus throughout the preseason and where we're at. And got a lot of young kids right now that are stepping into new roles that are going to really have to step up and help us do that, and we're looking forward to seeing how we accomplish things throughout the year.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about the conference. This year it's a little different. There's a different format with not as many conference games. You'll have a little bit bigger non-conference schedule, but what are your thoughts on this new format?
Well, I think one thing that helps us is just to get out and see a variety of different teams. Our conference schedule last year was definitely a grind. I think it wore down a lot of our teams in the conference moving into the national tournament. It's just really a mentally different approach when you're playing conference games as opposed to non-conference. So for us, it's a good chance for us to get outside of our conference and step out and play quality teams. We've got at least 3 teams that made the national tournament last year at the Division I level, and one that made it at the Division II level that we're playing in the non-conference. So, it gives us a good measuring stick to see where we're at early in the year as we move into conference play. It also kind of gives you time to develop your younger players before you step into games that are going to decide the conference championship, where the automatic bid is actually on the line. So it's good for us. It'll be nice to not have 26 like we did last year. I know I'm looking forward to seeing some different teams, and we'll see how the format works out with the North-South divisions. We definitely have a very tough division and a lot of very, very good basketball teams on our side, so it's going to be a real challenge for us to stay on top of and be where we want to be.
Yeah, Jess, we'll turn to you. You were one of the leaders last year in that terrific season as the point guard, and you'll return to that spot again this year. But talk to us about this year's team. What are you excited about in this year's squad?
I'm pretty excited, just all around. We have a lot of good offensive talent. We're working on our defense and we're trying to find our leadership. But all around, I'm pretty excited for this year's team. We lost 3 good seniors last year, and we're trying to find that flow and that leadership. But yeah, we're all pretty excited.
Yeah, like we were talking with Coach, you guys will have quite a few more non-conference games. You'll have a couple of tournaments at home. What are your thoughts on that as non-conference creeps up here pretty quick?
We're all pretty excited to play non-conference games. Even though we get pumped up to play MNU and Benedictine and all those teams, we're pretty excited to play Ottawa and St. Mary's and all those upper class teams too as well.
Yeah, let's talk about this year's team. You've got some good returners coming back. We got Anna Hignite and Jody Atkins and some other returners. Talk about those returners. How are you guys doing as far as getting those newcomers up and going?
Yeah, they're stepping up into big roles. Jody's stepping up in Kelsey's role, and Anna's going to step up in maybe Sydney Bouchel's role. And we also have Kayla Modisette coming back off of an injury, and then we have Courtney Hogue coming in, replacing Kenzie Cook's position. We're all just trying to find a good flow in our offense and a good flow in our defense, and we're all pretty excited to play.
Yeah, how about some of those newcomers? You've got a couple new ones out there. What have you seen from them so far in preseason?
We only have one freshman, Daisy, but she's doing really well. She kind of hurt her knee during preseason, but she's getting back into the flow of things, and she's learning, and she's growing from watching Courtney play.
Yeah, Coach, let's talk about preseason so far. So you guys have been together a couple of weeks as you get ready for the season opener. What are your expectations from this group so far?
Well, we're trying to find an identity, to be real honest. For us, we do have a lot of returners, but we've lost a lot of experience over the last 2 years. And I think any time that you're replacing two classes that had 6 kids that at different points were all conference players, player of the year, defensive player of the year over the last 2 years. You know, you've got a lot of kids that have been a part of the program, but now it's their turn to step up and really assert themselves. And you mentioned some of those names. You know, we're looking for big things from kids like Jody and Taylor Smith, and we're excited to have Caitlin Modisette back off the injury. And I think Courtney Hogue's really taken a step forward lately in practice as well. So it's going to be a matter of them just understanding now the onus is on them to step up and be the kind of players that we need them to be. And we're not consistent yet. I think we still have a ways to go for that, probably like everybody else in the country does right now. And it'll take us some time to maybe find our identity as what kind of group we're going to be. We definitely have a lot of kids that can score the basketball. We got to have a few more kids decide they want to stop somebody from scoring the basketball as well. But once we find that chemistry and that balance and can figure out how to play both ends, I do think this group will very much be in the mix towards the end of the year, competing for another championship.
Yeah, we talked about the non-con, but how about the Heart? You know, you guys have had a lot of success the last 4 or 5 years in the Heart. You know, what will it take to get stay atop, you know, the standings with the Mid-Americas and Southern Methodists and Benedictines? You know, what do you think about the Heart this year?
Well, I think anytime you're going to win a regular season conference championship, you have to be consistent. You can't take nights off. There's no bad teams in our league to the point where you can just not show up and you're going to get a W no matter what. Everybody has a chance to beat you every single game that you play. I think our league continues to get better. We saw that last year with 5 teams making the national tournament, which is the most that's ever gone from our conference. So you're talking about 5 teams that were there last year already in our league, and we know some of the other teams have improved as well. So we're going to have our hands full, especially when you're the team that won it the year before. You definitely get everybody's best shot, and you know, we're looking forward to really trying to keep ourselves in the position to maintain the success we've had, to be a program that has a chance to compete, to be back-to-back conference championships. But the Heart is very, very difficult, and it is a mental grind, and you really have to make sure that you're consistent every time you're out on the floor.
All right, well, we're getting close to the end here. Bring you both back in, but I'm going to, off the cuff here. So, Coach, you asked Jess one question. Jess, you're going to ask Coach one question.
Jess, what's all your nicknames that you've been given by the coaching staff in your time here?
Jay-Z, Jump Shot Jess, Chipmunk, Strep, Drew Brees, Mighty Mouse. I don't know what else.
I think that might be it.
That might be it.
Yeah. 6, that's not bad. So.
All right, Jess, what do you got for Coach?
Do you think Iowa will beat Wisconsin this year?
Oh, man. As a true Iowa fan, I would say probably not, but I pray that they do. So we'll see.
All right.
Good questions. Well, we appreciate your guys' time here on Heart Media Day. We look forward to seeing you all play here in just a couple weeks.